Yeah, this is the Hawk. So, the United States took out the Suleiman general, Iranian general Suleiman. So let me give you some background on Iran. From 2004 until 2011, I spent 8 years in Iraq. In the beginning of '04, they were hitting us with mortars, and I was in the red zone in a camp, forward operating base, Rustamaya. At that time, it was called Cuervo, and they changed it to Rustamaya. And before that, it was called Leatherneck. Anyway, the first rockets that came in killed a first sergeant At. After that, they called us Rocket Rustamaya because they were hitting us sometimes 6 times a day, sometimes 44 rockets at a time. We were hit from 6 in the morning every 4 hours. This went on for years. We could never understand certain reasons for some things until we started getting smart. We started picking up the shrapnel. And what we found on the shrapnel was patent numbers from Iran, manufactured in Iran with that year's date stamped on them. Mortars from 60 millimeter up to 120s, 107 Katyusha rockets manufactured in Iran. All the EFPs that we were getting, our soldiers were getting killed with. And if you don't understand what an EFP is, it's a shaped charge, it's vaporized copper, which is blasted through our units, through our weapons and our armored vehicles. It would cut through the steel like it was butter. During these attacks, what I found was if you looked along the rivers, within 2 miles of all the rivers, Euphrates and the Tigris rivers, within 2 miles, it was almost parallel to the rivers. They were using the rivers to supply weapons to these groups in Iraq. Now, early 2005, inside the city, we were finding dead policemen, recruits in fields, not 1, not 2, but sometimes 25 at a time. And what was happening was the Iranians were replacing them with Iranian intelligence officers. At the Baghdad Police College, which was next to the MOI, Risafa prison, the Minister of Oil, they infiltrated the police departments. And they were threatening the politicians in Baghdad. Now, Muqtada al-Sadr, who has the Mahdi army, or the Muqtada army, was being funded by them. They were supposed to be called the Golden Princes and numerous other things. And what they did was they went into Sadr City. Sadr City was designed by Saddam Hussein because they won the Iran-Iraq war. He let all these prisoners out. Most of them were kidnappers, murderers, and rapists. And they put over 2 million people in 20 square miles. Baghdad al-Sadr went in there and recruited these criminals to become his Mahdi army. These are Shia militia, not Sunnis. Now, what people don't realize is ISIS was funded by Obama. It's a fact. This is a clear fact. Obama's administration was funding ISIS with the help of Hillary Clinton through the Muslim Brotherhood. They tried to replace the government in Egypt. They replaced the Libyan government and put the Brotherhood in there. And they were funding ISIS to fight Syria so they wouldn't have to put US troops there. But what happened was these Sunnis turned around and went back to Baghdad and murdered, raped, tortured, and destroyed half of Iraq, killing thousands of Christians, thousands of Shia. Also, one must remember that the Democratic Party is a clear and present danger to the United States right now. They are the ones that supplied, and it was Obama's administration, with billions and billions of dollars, cash, delivered to the Iranian government. And this same Iranian government killed thousands of our soldiers and men, women, and civilians that were on the ground. Listen, I was in charge of 5 camps in Iraq for 8 years, separate times, with sometimes up to 750 civilians at a time. I saw enough in 8 years to tell you that Iran was responsible for almost 50% of the deaths of our soldiers in Iraq. If the Democrats go against this system or this administration to protect American interests, they are nothing but traitors to our people. I was there. I saw. I wrote the incident reports. I picked up the pieces afterwards. I did the damage reports. I saw the wounded. I saw the dead. And I saw the evidence. Iran was responsible for 90% of all the attacks in Iraq and more than 50% of the deaths of our soldiers in Iraq. And that is a fact. Now, Chuck Schumer, you little weasel, yes, man, go talk to your mama. And as for Obama, he should be arrested for treason, as with Clinton and 90% of these Democrats. Schiff, you little weasel, you have nothing to say. You have nothing to say. The Democratic Party basically spat and disrespected all the dead soldiers in Iraq and Afghanistan. All the sacrifices we did. And believe me, I spent another 2 years after Iraq in Afghanistan. And right now, the Taliban are going to take it over and destroy it like they did last time. During peace talks now, they killed our soldiers. Peace talks. They have no regard for anything. They will lie, cheat, steal, and go and still do what they're going to do. There is only one way to solve this problem, is to remove the Iranian government as it stands right now. And the Iranian people are waiting for somebody to do it to free them from this nightmare that they're living in. Anybody in Iran right now that goes against this government will be murdered. This general should have died a long time ago. And I'm hoping that the US government takes out Muqtada al-Sadr, and a few others that are in there and hold the Iraq government accountable for what's going on. Because if you look at their bank accounts, 99% of the Iraqi government is being funded by the Iranian government. They are corrupt, they cannot do their jobs, and they're being told what to do by Iran. Nobody else. What the United States did is a very good thing. We just took out a very evil man. This is the Hawk. I'm out of here. Please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the like button. Make sure you haven't been unsubscribed. YouTube is trying to cut us, stop the news from getting out, and for some unknown reason, support these terrorists, these liberal traitors to our country and our cause. This is the Hawk. I'm out of here. Take care.